Hello and welcome to Keys to the Crown, presented by Crown Royal. I'm Erin Summers, getting you ready to lock in those week one lineups. Yes, it is week one. The NFL season is upon us, and we have Marcas Grant of the NFL Network here to help us break everything down. Marcas, how are you?
Doing great. Yeah, ready. We've been 8 months of speculating and just pontificating. Now it's time for actual football, so let's go.
All right, let's start things off with the Saints. They're playing Green Bay. Give me a start, a sit, and a sleeper in that matchup.
Well, I would say, a definite start, and I know this feels sort of, maybe cliche a little bit, but, Marcas Callaway, because he's the guy that right now is the number one wide receiver in that offense. I mean, we want guys that are going to get targets. While we still wait for Michael Thomas, we want to know that, there's somebody that's going to catch the football, and it looks like Marcas Callaway in that situation. And the sleeper for this week, I go to the Green Bay side, and I would get A.J. Dillon, who slides into the role that was left vacant by Jamal Williams when he went to Detroit. There is talk that they want to get A.J. Dillon involved early and often in this football game. He could get somewhere between 10 to 15 touches in the game. And, look, he made splashes in fantasy Twitter by showing off his big muscly quads on social media, and maybe he uses those down near the goal line to get a couple of touchdown opportunities.
And there you go. I like the intel on the pick there. Looking at the Thursday night football game, the Monday night game, big matchups there with the defending Super Bowl champs in Tampa Bay, starting things off against the Cowboys. And then Monday you have the Ravens, and they're going to be there on the Monday night football stage against the Las Vegas Raiders. In those two games, who are some of the players that you're liking that you definitely need to have on your roster?
Well, I think let's start with the TNF game. I mean, a guy that you want to make sure you have and maybe want to start this week is Michael Gallup there in Dallas. I expect that the Cowboys are going to throw the football a ton. They did it last year, especially before Dak Prescott got hurt. And while everybody is understandably excited about Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, don't forget about Michael Gallup. Dak Prescott has shown he can support three wide receivers. And I think Gallup, especially for a guy who came off the board in the double-digit rounds, really has some sleeper, some flex value for a lot of offenses. I would stay away from Rob Gronkowski in that game, just because for all the Cowboys' struggles defensively last year, they were actually pretty good against the tight end position. Throw in the fact that Tom Brady has so many weapons between Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown. They've got three running backs that can be productive there. I would worry about Gronk in this first week. Heading over to that Monday night game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Raiders. Look, I was a fan of Gus Edwards before the injury to J.K. Dobbins. I thought he was going to get a whole lot of work. That obviously increases now that Dobbins is gone for the season. But a sneaky name to keep in your back pocket, not only for this week, but for the season, is Tyson Williams, who had sort of worked into the number 2 role in the running back room for Baltimore. Now that Justice Hill, unfortunately, has an Achilles injury and is out for the year, I expected Williams is going to really try to take that opportunity and should see a lot of work in an offense that's going to run the football a whole lot. On the flip side, I think a sleeper player for the Raiders to keep an eye on is Bryan Edwards, the second-year wide receiver. He's the guy that I liked last year, unfortunately just had some injury issues that kept him off the field. We know that Darren Waller is going to be the number 1 target in that Raider passing game, but there's room for somebody else to step in and take some opportunities. And just judging by what happened throughout training camp and the preseason, Bryan Edwards really looks like he could be that guy.
Lots of good info there. Thank you so much, Marcas, for joining us. This has been the Keys to the Crown, presented by Crown Royal.